let me say a few things about the wall. In Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, the soldiers and the airmen, the sailors and the Marines named on this wall died. They died assuming that no one beyond their immediate families and friends would ever care. They did what they had to do in spite of knowing that regardless of their sacrifice, there would be no heroes back home. The men and women whose names are etched on this replica of a stone wall died largely unsupported by the American people. It was the first time in our history that Americans across the country denigrated the individual serviceman or woman who went to serve and fight. It was the last war that our young men were drafted off the streets of America. Many had no intention of joining the service. They honored their draft notice, and they reached deep to find the logic in fighting such an unpopular war. Other Americans came from patriotic families, and they saw it as their duty to fight and try to stop the proliferation of communism. And for some young men, it was a rite of passage to becoming a man. Americans had never before run from the call to arms. The reasons for being there were hard to rationalize when we were slogging through the muck of the rice paddies and the triple canopy jungles. And you had to believe in something when bullets were screaming through the elephant grass and you could hear the horrid thud striking the men around you. We were often terrified as napalm sucked the air out of our lungs. When a 500-pound bomb or a B-52 arc light shook the earth, you thought you would never live to see another day. These were times when all we wanted was just to live for one more day. We just wanted tomorrow. So we fought for each other. In many cases, those of us who lived are only here because someone whose name is on that wall. We became one without even knowing it. We were funny, we were storytellers, we were caring, and we were fighters. I'm not suggesting that we'd ever admit to all of those noble characteristics, but we were all of those things and more. And through it all, for some uncanny reason, we were still proud Americans. Death cannot sever the bond we feel with our brothers in arms. When we hear the whop-whop sound of a UH-1 Huey, or look down at our mud-covered boots, or watch fireworks cascading down like white phosphorus, the stirred memories can be painful, but they should also bring about recollections of the wonderful Americans that all came together by chance and by fate. To my fellow vets, when you look at the names on this wall today, and as you pass through a portal in time, I hope you feel the gentle push of someone whose name strikes out at you. A push that says to you, you can move on. You can move past this. Stand tall, be proud, and let the pain go. It's over now. You've got your tomorrow. Use it well for both of us. It's okay to remember. It's okay to find the good in what we did and the friendships we had. Those memories are far more important than any of the bad parts. It's all right to laugh, and it's okay to say thanks again to the guys who didn't make it back. They'd appreciate that, and they're okay with it all. It's time for all of us to be okay. Thank you.